I'm going to play with Stephen Gray on guitar.
Thanks, Sarah. A little background to what we're going to do now, me and Stephen. He called me a couple days ago and asked if I wanted to read at this thing tonight. I said sure. He said, would I like him to play along with the reading? I said sure. So what you're hearing is a complete improvisational, unrehearsed collaboration between me and him over the telephone. The guidelines that I suggested, because when I was writing this stuff, I always listen to music, and when I was writing this stuff, I was listening to Cuban love ballads and salsa music and flamenco, because you will hear a lot of the material travels into the Spanish Civil War, 1937, Milan, the train station, and it's mostly directly inspired by Roberto Bolaño, the Chilean writer, and Pier Paolo Pasolini. You probably all know about Pasolini. Jack has been tireless in exposing Pasolini to a wider audience. Bolaño's work is hanging back. Go to City Lights, there are 3 or 4 shelves of his work. If you don't know Bolaño, you're not living a full life. Thank you. Amore Brutale, homage to Roberto Bolaño and Pier Paolo Pasolini. In winter, the streets behind the train station in Milan are almost deserted. The backed up sewers, a foot is torn of wall posters, the cut up polemics, the posters, the word, the poetry, the dialectic of the Italian Communist Party, the borders, the interference, of course, the other borders, the interior, the front lines of shame, and centuries of deception. Hunting and gathering. January or December, the sky is cold. There are puffs of air turning into smoke, obscured in their faces. His mouth is slashed into a welcome smile for strangers. His X-ray eyes. Thank you. Thanks, Jack. Couldn't you hear? The sky was cold, puffs of air turning into smoke, of scoured scars across his face, his mouth slashed into a welcome smile for strangers. His X-ray eyes saw beneath the clothes of the boys hiding in the doorways. He saw their bones, the ghosts, the lips, the fiestas. Now there is the other. white shirt, black tie, hair neatly combed. Boys learn to dance, carrying their hearts in their sleeve. Now they are wanting on the street, waiting for the name, the night, waiting for him, waiting for the black flag. Soon they will grow from boys to men, and they will be hard to catch, except on bar stools, splayed across back seats, in the backs of convertibles, on the ground, on a nameless battlefield. Here we are, a white night. The streets behind the Milan train station after the last overnight express to Paris. This could be towns. There should be a swell feelings. These are swell fellows. These two handsome boys, Brooks, bruised up from the sea, dropped from the heavens, the constellations, landscapes of immigration, Bologna and Pasolini. We know South America and Italy was always a gentleman in a white dinner jacket. The long line of black satin stripe down the leg, the mirror shoe shines, slow dancing to Cuban love ballads from the 40s, cheek to cheek. The male interaction of aftershave lotion and cigars and sleek hair gloss, bound by history, by fascism, by communism, by sadism. Testicles, bound by kiss, courage, and dream, bound by muscle, a firm hand, bound by the shadows, the first rush from a line of Peruvian cocaine, like a frozen ice pick, pounded into the brain, up to the hilt of the shattered nerves of complete migraine. Dancing on the whole hotel balcony over the beach at Rio de Janeiro. All the long, wide erections of our love. Oye, Berto, dame un cigarette. The ground is wet. My feet are cold. I cannot sleep. I go on dreaming. Dame un cigarette, por favor. The way one man gives another man a cigarette. The fingers touching in the past. The surprise, the wound, the fetish of spark. Oye, Paolo. The boys inhale tobacco, and they spit up and they cough. Their indifference will kill me. Smokes dangling from their kisses. It is as hot as a photo studio. See, Bertho, a blonde with long legs. I would pay $100 US to wrap my arms around him, hold him by his ass all night long. Another headers is shaved, make him beat me with my belt, hit me, stripe all night long. The animal has spoken. Oye, ragazzi, l'Italiane. But for now, they are retreating all along the Ebro. The churches are burning in Toledo. They are throwing gasoline bombs from the roof of the Prado. They are defending Goya. In Murcia, they are killing the horses for food. There are fresh figs in the market at Guernica. It is harvest time on the roof, and you pick a grape, put it under your tongue, bite into it slowly, taste it hot from the sun, swallow the juice of the blood of the Spanish earth. Bandera Rosa, Bandera Negro. Barcelona is a city of flags and resistance. The international brigadistas are escaping over the Pyrenees in a long, slim line to the depot of the boxcars at Port Boo, the long line across the hills from La Frontera to Auschwitz. There is Hyman, the cab driver from Brooklyn, who read Marx in the trenches. He left his arm with fingers in the mud at Turiel. There is Lena, the school teacher from Milwaukee. In the night under the bombardment, her long, beautiful black hair, like a raven's wing, turned white as snow. There is Boris, who came all the way from Warsaw with his own rifle that would not shoot the Soviet cartridges and blew up in his face. There's Inga and Jorge and Francesca and Nadia, Carlos, Pablo, Jin, Robert, Frida, Flavio, Jakob, McAfee, Susanna, Zena, Charo, Roberto, Pierpaolo, a defiant thin line escaping over the Pyrenees to be dragged to bed, to wild parties, drugged and drunk, abused like museums and chemotherapy. There are memories of history, these people now, climbing in a thin line over the snow. Oye, dame un cigarette. Cigarette. The train station after closing, there is a smile on his lips. I want to steal it. The man alone in the snow, gathering livestock, telling stories of cocaine and women and gold. They touch the back seat of a car. It is very cold under the sky. They are like mad in the night of there is no love. It is quick before their flesh rots. Oye, Paolo. My clothes, the ground is so cold and wet. My face is cold. Dame un cigarette. Remember Milano? Does the Midnight Express still run to Paris? Is it on time? All the young boys, impatient, restless, 4 a.m., Roberto and Pierpaolo, white dinner jackets, the fury and tenderness of man-on-man love, along their feelings to hold them together. Roque is wearing lipstick. He will smear it across my belly when we get back to the hotel. Sante is wearing black leather gloves with the fingers cut out. Diego is wearing nail polish and eye makeup. All we remember is the sex. By morning, not even that. Only the music. The colored lights, the lemons squeezed into a glass of warm tequila, a face buried into a pillowcase, the sheets rolled up on the floor, the way a man, an asshole, puckers up like a mouth in the dark, passing a cigarette, hand to hand, the sparks light up the whole wasteland. Comrades, this is Earth, where civilization bled itself to death, hand to hand. Take us out, Stephen. Take us out, Stephen.